Hey everybody, I am delighted to be here with Juliet from Flex in the City. Tonight, on our Facebook page, we are going to do a Pilates class. Pilates is something I love, I've done it for a really long time, and Juliet is one of the best in the business at it. So get ready to get going, and don't forget afterwards, we're going to do a live Q&A over on the private Facebook group. So come join us in the private group afterwards. Enjoy.
Okay guys, let's get started with today's Pilates workout. We're going to start standing. I'm going to take you through a couple of things that you're going to want to bear in mind during the workout, and then we'll get moving on the mat. We're going to start standing really tall. I want you to push your feet right down into the mat or down into whatever you're using today, a towel or whatever feels comfortable underneath you. You're going to push your big toe and your baby toe all the way down, your heel down, and feel the arch, that middle of the foot, pick up off the floor. Feet are going to be directly underneath your hips. You're going to take a big inhale, shoulders up, and exhale down. Good, and again, inhale. And exhale, shoulders down. Let's do one more of those. Big inhale, shoulders up. Good, and exhale, shoulders all the way down. I'm gonna spin sideways so you can see what I'm doing here. We're gonna take your pelvis and we're gonna arch your lower back, roll your tailbone right out behind you, and then press your tailbone to the floor, hip bones pointing forward. And again, rock back. If you feel better having your hands on your hips, it might give you a little bit of stability here. Pelvis pressing forward. Let's do a few more. So we're stretching out the front body, strengthening the lower back, and tipping forwards. One more time. These are nice to do during the day as well. If you feel that your back gets tight during the day, if you're sitting at a desk. Let's do one last one here. Tip back and forwards. You want that tailbone reaching to the floor, hips pointing forwards. So we get a nice stretch in the front body, little squeeze in the glutes. Let's inhale the arms up to the ceiling, few roll downs to start. Lift your ribs up, and then we're gonna roll forwards, nice and gentle. Let yourself roll down. Take a breath in, and then exhale. And if your hamstrings feel tight or your low back feels tight and you can't get those hands to the floor, it doesn't matter at all. You go to wherever feels comfortable to you. We want to get comfortably uncomfortable today, never pushing anything past what feels good. And then slowly rolling up, long spine, just getting everything moving. One more, arms reach, lift the ribs, and then rolling down. Hang here for a sec, breath in, and then exhale, start to roll all the way up. And then roll the shoulders back for 3, roll them back for 2, really good, roll them back for 1, and relax. Let's come down to that mat and let's get started. You're gonna take a seated position on your mat. We're gonna sit up super tall, take your hands behind your thighs to start, lift your chest bone all the way up. So we're just gonna practice sitting tall and then let yourself relax where you probably want to sit normally. And then again, lift all the way up, chest up, collarbones wide, and then slowly release it down. One more time here. Lift all the way up, chest up and tall. Feel that stretch, feel that length happen in the spine. From here, we're gonna start to roll down. If you wanna take your hands to the mat for stability, go for it. We're gonna take a breath, push into your feet, and slowly we roll down, and you're breathing the whole time. I'm gonna talk about breath a lot today, and it really doesn't matter. We're gonna suggest a breath for you to work with. That's it, all the way to the mat, head and shoulders down. But if you inhale when I say exhale, or exhale when I say inhale, it doesn't matter in the least as long as you keep breathing. We're gonna plant those feet really solid on the mat. We're gonna take an inhale all the way into that belly button and out into the ribs. Inhale. And exhaling all the way out. Remembering that core is a full unit. So we're inhaling down into the belly, out into the ribs, down into the mat. And exhaling, feeling just a little bit of tightness. We're gonna press into the hands, into the feet. One more. And then exhaling out. And we're gonna start to rock that pelvis again, forwards and backwards here. So we press your low back into the mat. I want you to push your arms down into the mat. I'm just gonna move my arms out of the way so you can see what's happening in my pelvis. That lower back presses into the mat, and then you release it away. And then press that low back to the mat, press your head back, you're pressing your arms down and away. Nice big arch onto that mat. One more time, press into the mat. We're gonna release it only halfway this time. Reach it away and stay. Press your arms down. I want you to feel a little bit of a squeeze in your backside, nothing huge. And I want you to think really flat and wide across these lower abdominals. Before we start to really work, I want you to settle those ribs. We inhale. Exhale, that chest bone drops down. Your ribs are gonna knit down. Many of us have nice open ribs during the day. We wanna counteract that here. We wanna close the ribs together and drop them down into the fabric of your abs, like you're knitting them down. One more breath here, inhale. Exhale, let's try to pull that belly button halfway towards your spine. And as your ribs slide down towards your pelvis, your belly button is pulling up and underneath your ribs. So you've got that two-way push and pull in those abs. We're gonna start to work here. Breath in, nice and slow. Exhale, nothing happens in that center body. You take that right leg up to a tabletop position. Your knee is over your hip, your ankle is in line with your knee. Arms press, and then drop that foot down. And then left leg, inhale, we float with control, pull your tummy tight, exhale to drop the foot. Again, lift. If you're feeling tight in the shoulders here, try to push into the back of the shoulder, press into the palm, all of the backs of those knuckles down into the mat. Left leg, and down. One more time, take that right leg and lift it, and drop. One more on that left side, lift, and down, really good. Now stabilizing the pelvis. Any low back issues, you can let your lower back rock into the mat a little bit more here for support. We're gonna take a breath, inhale. Exhale, take your right leg up. Your left leg is gonna join it. We're gonna press the inner thighs together. We're gonna start to work that deep core unit here. Reach the arms to the ceiling. Feel the shoulder blades come off the mat, reach the fingertips up, and then drop your shoulder blades back down. Keep those shoulder blades down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, chin to your throat. And then you're gonna press through the arms. Curl the shoulder blades off the mat. So we're gonna lift those shoulder blades up. Reach your fingertips all the way past your toes to the end of that mat. And then slowly, shoulder blades, shoulders, head comes down. Again, press and curl and reach. And all the way back down. Now, if this feels like a lot to you and you wanna do this with those feet down, absolutely do. Or if you're postnatal, you're gonna wanna keep your feet down for this as well. And then arms coming all the way up. One more time, press all the way through. You're gonna stay here. You're gonna feel that start to work that center. Take the legs back up again if you can. Inner thighs pressed together. Reach the fingertips out. We're gonna start to pump those arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe. 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Any neck tension here, and you want to take your hands behind your head, absolutely do, and keep that breath going. Inhaling and out. Feeling those abdominals draw all the way down on that exhale. Inhaling strong and exhale. Now, if you're feeling strong today, and you can, you're going to reach those legs away. If that feels too much, those knees pull to the chest. Any back issues, you're gonna pull your knees to your chest a little bit tighter. And as I said, you can always take those feet to the floor. We've got 3 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, strong through the tricep, through the shoulder. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and press. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5, 4, 3, 2. Now pause. When you start to feel it, that's when we start to engage and connect a little bit more. Fingertips reach out, knees draw to chest, and give yourself a breath. Head and shoulders come down. Let's go straight into that next abdominal exercise. Hold on to your knees, hug them, curl the shoulder blades up. Both hands on that right leg, and let's go ahead and stretch that left leg out. Now, the more you pull your right leg in, the more stretch you're gonna get through that low back, something we're all looking for. Reach that left leg. It can be higher or lower, whatever suits your body. And then swap and swap. You wanna see, can you pull and curl up? So we start to really challenge those abdominals, the front of that core, remembering to lengthen in the back, pulling those abdominals just that little tighter, keeping that curl, those shoulder blades off the mat. Let's go 4 and 4, really good, and go 3 and 3, remembering to breathe when it starts to burn just a little bit more in the center. One more time, go in and in, really good, hold the knees to the chest. Give yourself a breath. We inhale and exhale. We're gonna stick with this. Let's curl that upper body off the mat one more time. Curl the shoulder blades up. Use these last ribs to get you that little bit further. We're gonna go arms, legs, and then put everything together. We're gonna inhale the arms back. Exhale, circle them to the ankles. If you wanna pop your feet down for this, go for it. Arms back, circle them to the ankles. If you can keep the legs up, do. Inhale and reach. Now pause the arms. Legs reach forward and pull back in. Good, let's do 2 more on these legs. Reach them away, strong in your center. And back, 1 more time. Reach it away and pull back. Let's take them together. We go arms and legs, stretch and circle. We're just gonna do 4. These are nice and challenging. And in, so you're lengthening everything in that front body. Stretch it and curl. Last one, make it your best. Stretch through the fingertips, through the toes. Curl all the way back in, head and shoulders down. Legs stay where they are. Press your hands down into the mat. Press your feet. Strong in your center still. Press down into your left foot. Take that right leg to the ceiling and stretch it. Take the foot directly over your knee over your hip. Little circle in that leg. Out, around and up for 1. Out, around and up for 2. Think about stirring the head of that thigh bone, head of the femur in its socket. Last one here, pause, reverse. In, around and up. And in, and if you've got any clicking in those hips, you're gonna wanna make that circle a little bit smaller. 1 more time. In, around and up, and pause. Bend the leg, drop to the mat. Other leg stretches and reach, and that leg's gonna circle. Now my leg's gonna straighten because I'm a Pilates teacher, and if it didn't straighten, that wouldn't be great. If you've got super tight hamstrings, absolutely go ahead and bend that knee for me. 1 more, and pause. Reverse that circle, take it out, around and up. Challenging all of the stability in that center body, nothing moving in that core. 2 more here. And then 1 more time, out, around and up, bend the knee, and pop the foot down. We're gonna stay 1 more exercise on your back here. Pull the heels in a little tighter towards your backside. And I want you to drive down into your heels. It's gonna help you get into your glutes. Press into the arms, open the chest. Take an inhale. On the exhale, press the mat away with your feet and with your arms. Lift your pelvis off the mat. Drive through your heels to get right into your seat bone, and think about where that hamstring meets the arch, or where your hamstring meets the line of your glute, where you want to get that lift in your backside. Reach the knees forwards and then slowly drop back down. And again, press through the hands, through the feet, knees reach over the toes, tiny squeeze, but 0 clenching, and down. 1 more time. Press it up and hold it. Now, the more you reach your knees forwards here, the more you're gonna help open out the front of that hip and work the back of the body. We're gonna take a breath. Inhale. And exhale, just stay. Might feel a little bit crampy in your hamstring, especially if they're a little weaker. 1 more. Breath in. Exhale, knees forwards, tummy tight, and then drop back down. Let's add on. If it feels too much with the pelvis lifted, feel free to keep it down here. We're gonna press your hips up, about maybe 2 fist distances off the mat. Press into your arms. All of that work now in your left leg. I want you to push into your heel, into your glutes, squeeze your hamstring. Take your right leg to the ceiling. Again, it can be a little bent if that feels better. Push out through your heel, lower the leg. So you get a little work in the ankle, point the toes, and lift. Nice and slow. Reach. Slower is generally going to feel a little bit burny, but it's going to help you gain more control. 1 more. And lift. Bend that foot, pop it to the mat, making sure you haven't lost any of that height. Lift in your seat. Press that opposite leg to the ceiling. Reach through the heel and inhale down, and exhale, lift. And reach, and you might feel one side feels a little bit more challenging than the other. Absolutely normal. 1 more time. Reach the leg away and lift the leg back up. Press down, and then drop the body all the way down. From here, we're gonna pull the knees into the chest and just little rock over side to side. And then when you're ready, take a breath. You're gonna rock and roll yourself all the way up to sitting on that mat. You're gonna come onto your side. It doesn't matter which side, you're gonna face all the way out. And we're gonna stretch into one super long line here. Take your arm underneath your head. If it feels better to prop it up here, do as well. We're gonna press your top hand down into the mat, and you wanna grab onto your top hip and stretch it away so that your top leg reaches almost longer than your bottom leg. Bearing in mind, like we said before, core is the front of the body, the back of the body, and the sides. We wanna work that side line here. Press into that arm for stability. Top leg is gonna lift. Inhale, just to hip height, and exhale down. Remembering that control. Inhale to hip height, and exhale down. Let's do 2 more, lifting from the side of that seat and back down. 1 more, lift, flex your foot, and we're gonna just pulse it up for 4. Lift it for 3, lift it for 2, lift it for 1, hold, and then release. Flex both your feet. We're gonna take your top leg up. Now you really wanna use that bottom hand. Lift your bottom leg, and then both legs lower together. Challenge that waistline. Again, top leg, bottom leg, inner thighs hug together, and release it down. You might feel a little bit wobbly here. Absolutely normal. This is a challenge for your balance line. Lift, and all the way down. One more time. Lift, and lift. See, can we pause it? Hold it, get a little bit more lift, a little bit more height. If you want, you can see, can you take your top hand up without wobbling too much? Drop the hand, drop the legs, and come up. You're gonna spin around to the opposite side. I've got a battery mic pack on my side, so I'm gonna stay on the same side, but make sure you switch. You want equal work both sides. So we're gonna lie all the way back down on that opposite side now. Press down into that hand, same thing. Lengthen that top hip all the way away from you. Press into your hand, and then we're gonna lift that top leg up. Good, and slowly lower it back down. And again, lift it up. All of them working here is through that side waistline and through that side of your seat. All of those muscles that help stabilize your pelvis. Good, one more on this side. Lift, hold it, flex your foot, tiny pulses, up 4, up 3, up 2, up 1, and slowly lower down. Flex both of your feet, top leg lifts, bottom leg joins it. They'll squeeze in those inner thighs, and then lower them both down. And again, top leg, pull the tummy muscles a little tighter, bottom leg reaches, and then they both lower. Let's do 2 more here. Top leg, bottom leg reaches it, reach, and then slowly down. Last one, top leg, bottom leg, let's pause it. Inner thighs press together. See, can you get a little bit more height? A little bit of a shake is absolutely fine. Reach through those heels, and then release it all the way down and relax. We're gonna roll all the way up, and let's just take a stretch. Cross the legs, one over each other, hands to the front of your knees. Lift that chest bone, take a big inhale, and then exhale, just stretch forward. Again, if you're tight in your hips and it feels better to take the feet together, absolutely do. They can be as far away from you as you want. You're working to just build that flexibility, increase that mobility every time you move. Stretch forward, letting that low back release, and then lift all the way up. We're gonna flip over onto our front and work the back of that core here. So come all the way onto your front line for me. And you're gonna lie right down, head's gonna be down on that mat. And I want you to take your hands directly under your shoulders, elbows to the ceiling. Press into your feet. So you're gonna lift your knees gently off the mat. That's gonna help engage your backside a little bit. We're gonna lift the hands, lift the head, drop the head, drop the hands. Go hands, head, head, and hands. One more. Hands to engage that upper back. Head to take your spine into a long line. Drop the head, drop the hands. Now when you're ready, lift your head, press your hands into the mat, and you're gonna lift yourself all the way up, open out. If you can only come to here comfortably, that's where you work. And then slowly release it all the way down. I'll pop that out to my side. And again, lift and press all the way up. Open that front line, little squeeze in your seat, and slowly release. One more time. Press and lift, stretching the front body, strengthening the back body, and then come all the way down. And from here, we're gonna stack the hands, one on top of each other, palms facing down, head to your hands. Lift your legs just an inch, not high. I want you to stretch through those toes, and we're just gonna do little paddle kicks. Little kicks through those legs. I want you to keep your back really steady here. The work is in that seat. Reach and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, and then lower down. Good. Let's reach the arms forwards, and you're gonna lift your arms and your head. Just a hover. You stay looking down at the mat and swim the arms. Now I find this upper body bit a little bit more challenging. You might find it easier, or you might be like me and find it more challenging. You just work where you are today, going as long as you can without working into anything that feels too much. Last time, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause and release it back down. We're gonna lift everything together. Lift and then lower. And if this feels like enough work to you, this is where you stay for me today. Reach, and lower. Push your belly button into the mat. Push your pelvis into the mat. If you can stay here, do. We're going to swim opposite arm to leg. This is your biggest challenge here. Just go for 10, for 9, for 8, breathing, 7, and 6. Stretch 5. Press the back of the neck to the ceiling for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold your stretch. Beautiful, and slowly lower back down. Take those hands underneath the shoulders, and then from here, you're gonna press yourself onto all fours. Take a second to get comfortable there while I pop this back inside. All right, we're gonna press onto all fours. You're gonna have your wrists directly underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. We're gonna round the back, crown of the head to the tailbone, tailbone to crown of the head, eyes to your thighs, and then reverse it, open out. And then let's come back into a neutral spine. Last little bit of work here. Tuck all 10 toes underneath you. And I want you to take a breath. Press your hands into the mat to activate those shoulders. Tummy tight. Reach your tailbone and your seat bones out. Head up and lift your knees. And drop your knees. And lift. And this is tough. If you've got tight wrists, feel free to walk those hands forwards a little bit. Lift and lower. And again, let's do 2 more. Lift the knees. And lower. 1 more time. Lift the knees. If you can stay here, do. If you want to continue to lift and lower, if that feels better to you today, do. Embrace that little bit of a shake that's going to be happening round about those abdominals now. Keep pulling that tummy tight for 4. Breathing 3. Keep working 2 and 1 and release. From here, we're going to take those arms a little further forwards, come to the front edge of the mat. Slide one leg out behind you. Slide the second leg, hold your long plank. Take an inhale, drop the knees, sit back to your heels and stretch. Come forwards, and again, slide one leg, press into the ball of the foot, reach through your heel, squeeze your seat. Take your other leg, press the mat away, tummy tight, press the chest away from that mat. Drop the knees and sit back. We're gonna do 1 more here. Come all the way forward. Slide one leg out, slide that second leg out and stay. Hold and inhale. On this exhale, push your heels down, backside to the ceiling, and nice and slow, steady your feet and walk your hands back into your toes. Again, feel free to bend the knees really deep here, and slowly we're gonna roll up, bone by bone, vertebra by vertebra. Chin is the last thing to lift up and off that chest. I'm gonna roll those shoulders for 2. And roll them for 1. We're gonna stand super tall. Heels are gonna be together, toes are apart. Press your pelvis forwards, tailbone to the space between the heels. Inhale, lift up onto your toes. And exhale down. Separate the heels. Again, inhale, lift, pressing into your big toe. And then roll back down. 2 more. Lift up. And down. Last one, inhale. If you can add the arms, do. And drop the heels. And circle the arms, big circles, for 3, for 2, and 1, and release. Take a breath. Inhale, shoulders to your ears. And out. 2 more, biggest breath, all the way into that body. And all the way out. Last one, biggest breath of your whole day. Inhale. And exhale all the way out. Very well done. Thank you so much for joining us for this workout. If you have any questions, make sure to get in touch, and we look forward to seeing you on the mat soon.